just dealt with someone who is doing their best to destroy the whole islamophobia, Nazi, fascist, etc. language. We just dealt with that. So let's go the polar opposite and let's check out a blatantly racist old plane who makes us laugh. Are we ready? Are we ready for the HLC? Let's go.
Oh, man. Oh, as if it wasn't, or if it was possible for me to love Poland even more. Gosh, you guys are just amazing. You really are, little European Texas. And at this point, I'm starting to feel like you embody the American spirit kind of better than we do.
I hate to say it. That's not entirely wrong. He's really not. I'm gonna let Poland speak, but I saw something. I saw a video on something. I'll talk about it, but I'm gonna let Poland speak first.
Very flattered you would say something like that, Buff. I think we have bonded very much over these last couple years of our mutual hatred for Slavic special ed. I don't know if you're aware, but there are people here in Poland who pretend and they cosplay like they're in a what do you call it, a trailer park in Ohio. And since the Sun people have their what the fuck you call it, pilgrimage that they go to pet some big square rock in Saudi Arabia, why don't we just start sending Polish to Ohio in trailer park and that'd be like their pilgrimage?
Nice!
I'm struggling to find a flaw in this logic.
Same. Yeah, what I was talking about with like Poland being absolutely fucking based right now. Oh, Eins, is that referring to Christmas? Is that referring to the Christmas celebrations? Because if that's what if he covers that, I will wait until HLC talks about it. Because that's what I was going to talk about. I was going to mention that, like the Christmas celebrations that are currently going on in Poland. Okay. No. Okay. Okay. This is something different. Okay. So, chat, do you want to know how fucking base Poland is? Because Poland is not allowing all the bullshit happening with illegal immigration and basically like other like ethnicities taking over Poland and basically trying to convert it to their ways. I saw video footage comparing Christmas right now in Poland versus Christmas in just about every other country in the EU. You have Poland that had this absolutely gorgeous Christmas village. They had stalls, they had giant lit up decorations. There were just string lights as far as the eye can see. It was absolutely gorgeous. And people were flooded in there. They were enjoying themselves. It was it looked absolutely beautiful. And then the next footage was, I don't even know what country this was. It was one of the EU countries where they've literally had to put up multiple kinds of barricades to prevent Islamic terrorists from driving their cars into the fucking Christmas village and killing everybody. It was like, I think they had Germany, I think they had the UK, I think they had a couple, they showcased a couple different countries, but yeah, like Germany, the UK, like every other EU nation that does Christmas, all have like with their little the Christmas villages that they have set up. They literally need to put up fucking anti-tank barriers to prevent like Muslim extremists from basically suicide running their vehicles into the Christmas village and killing everybody because there's such a substantial threat to it. You literally have Muslim extremists walking the streets in these countries demanding people not celebrate Christmas because it's not haram. And so because of that, they literally need to do barrier protections around these. Like literal barricades to prevent this from happening, to prevent their citizenry from getting slaughtered by extremists. Iron, not to my not in the video footage that I saw. In the video footage that I saw, I don't believe that Poland set up a regiment to protect the village. I did not see that. Not at all. It was completely open. There was no military presence. There was no police presence. There were no barricades, especially anti-tank barricades. And no, I'm not joking. One of these other EU countries literally had to set up anti-tank barricades to prevent extremists from suicide bombers, essentially, from killing everybody. Not Poland. Poland, because they have locked down their borders, because they are not allowing the extremists into the country, they don't need to do that. So yeah, that's why I said Buff is not wrong when Poland is basically saying that they're embodying the spirit of America more than America is right now. And other nations, for that matter.
Personally, though, I think you should probably stay in one of the southern states. That seems like the most American areas that you can find. But anyways, why do we love Poland now? I mean, we do, but why? What happened? So basically, when your president said that the airspace over Venezuela was closed, we echoed that, because in a show of solidarity with our American friends. Okay. I mean, it's awesome, but why is that so special?
Because the guy who said it was a member of the Polish, government, right? And the dude's just based as fuck. I know Mrs.
Wait. Hang on. I think I missed context. Hang on. I'm sorry. I was looking at you guys and I missed context
When
there.
your president said that the airspace over Venezuela was closed, we echoed that, because in a show of solidarity with our American friends.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, it's awesome, but why is that so special?
Because the guy who said it was a member of the Polish, government, right? And the dude's just based as fuck. I know Mrs. Line Crosser hates when I use that word, but there's nothing else that really just hits this. And if you guys don't have an
I'm guessing the person of the government, I'm guessing, is the same guy who, when pressed by a journalist about how he's locked down the borders, and they're like, don't you think that's not very diverse? And the guy responded with, I don't fucking care. My duty is to the people of my country, not to, DEIs and SJAs that just want to let everybody in. I'm guessing it's that guy that Buff is referring to.
hates when I use that word, but there's nothing else that really just hits this. And if you guys don't have an X or a Twitter account, you're missing out, okay? So anyways, dude posted that, and then a bunch of people in the comment section started running their mouth, and dude's in there clapping back at people, telling them to take baths because they fucking stink and all sorts of shit. Probably the coup de grace, the piece de resistance in there. Somebody was talking about Islam and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, you mean that religion that fantasizes, or what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word, so we're just gonna go with fantasizes about the their deity or whatever being intimate with a 9-year-old girl." And I was like, "Holy shit!"
Oh,
it's
yeah,
rare to find that kind of just public prejudice. It's great.
Oh,
we can still say stuff like that because we don't allow them here. There's nothing against them. Just make your own country better instead of bringing your problems to Poland. Oh.
And that is the crux of all of this. That is the crux of all of this that people don't seem to grasp. That the people are saying shut down the borders and do these mass deportations. This is what everybody in America, Canada, the UK, France, Greece, this is what all of the people in these countries are saying. They're not against lawful immigration for people that want to come to the country and integrate themselves and assimilate themselves into that country's society and culture. Everybody is all for that. Everybody is 100% for immigrants coming lawfully to their respective countries and coming in with the expectation that they will assimilate to their new country's culture and way of life. From the very beginning, that is what everyone has said. But of course, all of the SJAs refuse to acknowledge that, and they twist it around to, you hate all immigrants. Because for some reason, we have allowed these people a megaphone to spew lies. Because that's what they do. They're spewing lies that people on the right, I'm going to have to say it, on the right, because the ones on the right are the ones that are saying it, that, they spew lies about them, that they hate all immigrants and that they're racist and Islamophobic and every other istophobia around, when literally all they've been saying is, be cool, lawful immigration is fine if the person coming to the country wants to integrate themselves and assimilate themselves into the country's culture and society. Do not try and come to another country and try and turn your new country into the exact shithole that you just came from. That is literally what everyone is saying. But it's being ignored because it goes against the message. And it goes against these sanctuary cities that literally just want to flood themselves with immigrants and turn themselves into Little Middle East or Little India. That's what they want to do. They literally, like, California, New York, Dearborn, they literally want to turn themselves into Little Middle East or Little India and turn their respective states or cities into shitholes, and people are done with it. People are done with fucking protesters, DEI, SJA protesters that are protesting Christmas in America. Thank you very much for that. Okay? I haven't heard so much about with that in Chicago, Moss. It would not surprise me if it's as extensive. But yeah, when you have people protesting about Christmas with Palestinian flags, get the fuck out. Flat out. Anyone, I'm sorry, okay. I'm going extreme here because I have to. I try to stay away from shit like this, but I'm sorry I have to. And bear in mind, this is coming from someone who is not religious. Thank you, Atanashi. This is coming from someone who is not religious. I will still celebrate Christmas with my family because it is, socially speaking, it's an enjoyable time of the year. I do not look at it from a religious aspect. I don't view Christmas, at least how I celebrate with my family, in a religious way. I look at it as it is a family or cultural holiday, not a religious one. That is my personal point of view. If there is like a Christmas tree lighting or a Christmas village or something Christmas themed in America, and you are going to have crowds of people standing outside protesting it, waving Palestinian flags, deport them out of the country. Get them the fuck out of the country. They do not belong in America. I would say the same thing about Canada, and I say the same thing about the UK and every other country where it's basically Christianity happens to be a big part of it, and people celebrate Christmas. Christmas is a big part of it. If you are going to protest about Palestine in front of a Christmas celebration, gone. You're gone. I think you need to be removed from the country. Because Christmas has nothing the fuck to do with anything happening in Gaza. Has absolutely nothing to do with it. So if you're going to do a massive protest waving Palestinian flags in front of a Christmas celebration, you're gone. I'm fucking done with you. I'm fucking done with this shit. Cave Spider, are they actually U.S. citizens? I don't know. If they're U.S. citizens, fucking get them out of there. And I would question how much, we're at the stage where, in the U.S. at least, which country do they actually want to belong to? If they hate America so much that they're going to protest on behalf of Palestine at a Christmas celebration, maybe they need to go spend some time in Palestine to see exactly what they're protesting on behalf of. I'm not going to say kick him out of the country permanently, but if they're going to do such a if they're going to do that, if they're going to start waving Palestinian flags and protesting and making life a living hell for families that want to just enjoy a fun Christmas celebration, and you're going to try and destroy that by screaming free Palestine, waving Palestinian flags, or making Islamic chants, which they were doing. If you're not in the country legally, instant deportation. If you're a U.S. citizen, go spend some time in Palestine. Have them, don't deport them permanently. Have them go spend 1 fucking month in Palestine. 1 month, especially the women. Go have them spend 1 month in Palestine. Then they can come back and see if their attitude has changed. All these, all of these fucking Karens and all of these, all of these SJAs that don't actually know what the fuck is actually happening, that they don't actually understand the complexities of what is happening over there, and they just decide to jump on a bandwagon, send them the fuck over to Palestine, let them stay there for a month. Then they can come back and then say something about it. Especially the women. Send all of these fucking white Karens that think that they are oh so righteous, protesting for Palestine, send them over to Palestine with no hijabs, no burqas, no nothing. Send them the fuck over there, see for 1 month. See if they feel the same way after they get back, after they've been beaten and raped, because that is what Islam says of women that do not cover their heads. Then they can come back and actually talk something about what's happening in Palestine. I'm fucking sick of this. I know I'm going off the handle on this, but I am fucking sick of this. Of these fucking SJA retards that feel the need to basically try and destroy a fun family celebration for Christmas because they just have to screech about Palestine when they don't even know what the fuck it's about, and they don't even understand that if they were actually in Palestine, they'd probably be dead or raped. It's time they start fucking learning. So if you want to do that, you can get the fuck out of the country. And if you're a U.S. citizen, you can get the fuck out for a month and go actually live where you claim to stand for. Sorry, that's been boiling for a while. That's been boiling and brewing in me for a while, because I'm so goddamn sick of these people that are jumping on the SJA bandwagon like this, and they don't even know what they're talking about. It needed to be I needed to fucking say it. Because I'm done with it. I'm fucking done with it. Alright, let's continue.
To Poland. Oh god, that sounds so efficient and nice. Uncle Sam, can I go to Poland? You are cleared for landing anywhere in the country. I love you, Poland, but no, kid, no. No. Oh, sad raptor noises. Maybe someday a little European Texas. They can't keep us apart forever.
Oh, God.
That's the thing about America. Eventually, every weapon goes on sale. So, do you think you can just shut down the airspace here in my country? And you can stop people from coming in and out, and then we're just going to be fine with it? Look.
I'm pretty sure there's about $1 trillion of defense spending that says yes, they can. Pretty sure.
Look, this is being very, very stupid. How about we have a conversation and we work through this together? I got a better idea, dude. What if the stealthy U.S. crater maker pays you a fucking visit? I'm sorry, dude. You just got way too much oil to be running your mouth like that. Okay. I'm going to be your next Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
Hey, right.
You're going to get bodied in every major engagement. We're going to have a kill-death ratio of like 5-1, and then eventually you're going to run to another country, and they're going to send a whole bunch of me to bomb you into submission, and then you're going to sign a peace accord that you violate
Yep.
3 years later. By that time, we're just tired of playing the game, and we leave. So it's a
Yep.
long way of getting to something, but I guess you jungle Mexicans can have it your way.
Buff!
Ah,
Don't call them that. Like, we can... This is kind of strange. We can wage war without using slurs.
I'm sorry, moron says what? Uncle Sam. This is Buff. The beautiful, glorious, racist wordplay. I thought you guys met.
No, see, here's the thing. Everyone assumes when you put Mexican after something, it's a slur, which is really offensive to the Mexicans. Like, I mean, seriously. But anyways, no, that's not a slur. Like, guacamole gangster's a slur. Fucking landscaping legionnaires, that's a slur.
Those both seem like they're slurs for Mexicans.
I mean, really, isn't everybody in Central and South America just some different flavor of Mexican?
Literally, no. America, I don't know if you
Oh,
saw
fuck.
that our
God damn
little
it.
space shuttle launch site suffered some damage in the last launch, but both cosmonauts and your American astronaut all made it up to the ISS. Wait a minute.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Aren't we mad at these guys? Like, haven't we sanctioned the living shit?
Wait, why was one of our restaurants, Jesus, fuck, words are hard. Why was one of our astronauts launching with Russian astronauts or cosmonauts? Yeah, no, I get that they were going to the ISS. Why the hell did we send one of our astronauts to Russia to launch with the cosmonauts? Why did they... Okay, joint agreement, fine. Why didn't they launch from fucking Canaveral? Why didn't they... he explains. Okay.
When the shuttle
Okay.
was DECOM, Russia has been doing American ISS flights since.
Yeah, but I thought that we were sending ISS flights through Boeing, which that was a shitstorm and a half. I don't think we're going to be sending Boeing to the ISS anytime soon. But I thought like we had SpaceX that was doing flights to the ISS, like manned flights to the ISS. Isn't SpaceX doing that? Or is this something else entirely? Everyone's messed up and SpaceX doesn't do them all. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It was NASA and Russia. Okay. All right.
Out of them, why are we hitching a ride on their rockets? Also, super fucking dangerous. Some would argue that it's manufactured outrage, but in reality, all countries' space programs have been kind of a gray area. Like, even during the Cold War, we worked together with the Russians. Albeit limited, but we did. What kind of damage we talking? You know, messed up gantry crane, maybe there's the launch pad. Oh my god, it's all fucked. Okay. Yeah, your entire launch pad is destroyed. Why in the fuck did I strap one of my astronauts into your rocket?
Yes!
I told you. It's fine.
Now, Slavic Special Ed, if you're going to be trying to send astronauts to space and you can't even have a proper launch pad, then you just need to shut the fuck up, Slavic Special Ed, and let the big boys actually handle this, okay, you dumb motherfucker?
They all did perfectly fine. The launch pad is designed to be able to break. The parts that are not supposed to break go up into space. And they went up there perfectly fine. And now they're probably going to live up there in fucking perpetuity because they're going to have to wait for the next time an American rocket goes up there to bring them back home in one fucking piece. Getting up there ain't hard. Getting back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hard part right there.
Something tells me that getting back down, especially with something tells me that they're going to be contacted. They're going to start bringing in SpaceX before too long. Yeah, that's where I was going, Atanashi. Like they're gonna start bringing in SpaceX on these flights. They're going to start like doing cooperative, and they're going to need to start bringing in Elon, maybe Bezos. I don't know if he's got anything going special with Blue Origin. I don't think he does. Right now, SpaceX is like the #1 like space program that's actually working well. And so, like, the government's going to have to deal with Elon. They're going to need to bring him in to start doing these space flights. They're going to have to start contracting out to him and start getting him to start sending up rockets for these ISS missions, because there's nothing else really that works properly. This launch where Russia destroyed their entire fucking landing pad is proof that like they are not going to have much choice for very long. They're not going to. And I mean, God knows they can't fucking do they can't do Boeing, because the last time Boeing sent a rocket up, they got their fucking astronauts stuck up there. So SpaceX is like literally all they got. They're going to have to start dealing with him.
The Challenger disaster would say otherwise.
One goddamn time. That's the exception, not the rule, you fucking frostback. Oh, wait, no, that's Canada, sorry.
No harm, no foul, dear bud. I understand. It was a moment of, what's that I'm talking about? Excitement there. The Great White North is always fine.
It's gonna be great to have those guys on our team. We're just gonna start calling you 51. America, I know that I don't really have room to talk here, but how are you holding up after you had 2 National Guard members shot in D.C.?
Oh, yeah.
We imported this problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to break everything here, and there's going to be a big fourth wall break.
Oh,
because
here
I don't
we
know
go.
if you guys know this, but in 2021, in August, I got a phone call while I was at my 1-year wedding anniversary. I was on vacation with my wife. My sergeant major told me to get on a plane Monday morning. I had no idea where I was going, what was going to happen. I was sent to Fort Pickett, Virginia. I was living in Farmville,
Jesus.
Virginia.
Wow.
And driving 45 minutes one way to Fort Pickett. I was part of Task Force Pickett. I was in the G cell under Brigadier General Harrison and Command Sergeant Major Calvo. She's retired now. We had no idea who the fuck was coming into this country. These individuals would give us fake names every single day when they would show up for any kind of in-processing. We in-processed typhoid. We brought in malaria. There was every disease known to man came through our fucking borders, and we were trying our best to protect ourselves in the midst of fucking COVID. I can remember being in one of the general's meetings, because I worked in the G cell, and we were talking about how many Afghans walked off the base. And I said, hey,
he's told this story before. Ethan has told this story on the Unsub podcast. That all of these Afghanis that they brought in under under this program, where if they function as interpreters over in the Middle East when the US forces were there, they were basically given a free fucking pass. There was a claim that they were getting vetted. None of them were fucking vetted. And that routinely these people would just disappear when they're supposed to actually stay on post and they're supposed to be there for processing, and they just fucking disappear, walk off, and nothing would happen. And there was no vetting process whatsoever at all. And now we're seeing, it's Operation Allies Welcome. Yeah. And we just had this fucking scumbag who, I'm going to say it, I hope he gets the death penalty. This guy that shot those 2 guardsmen, killed at least one. I think the other one may still be in critical condition. He needs to get the death penalty. You guys know I don't advocate for people's deaths. This person shot 2 National Guardsmen. One died. A 20-year-old woman who was I think she was a PFC. She was 20 years old. She hadn't even been old enough to drink yet. She was in terms of being in adulthood, she was a baby. She was like a baby adult, and he killed her. And possibly, who knows about the second guardsman, if he's even going to survive. He needs the death penalty. Like like do that due process, but I'm sorry, he can't be allowed to live. He is a terrorist. He's being charged with terrorism. He needs the death penalty. This is a situation, like, we need to fucking stop. We need to fucking stop this. It is getting out of control. The Western world needs to stop this. Because, I'm sorry, this is going to piss off a lot of people, and I'm sorry, but the people from the Middle East that migrate to Western countries, and they bring their culture with them and refuse to assimilate to the culture that they're moving into. They want to kill any non-Muslims. They want them all to die. Every fucking one of them. Leo, it's not even, in this aspect, it's not even just the illegal immigrants. It's even the legal migrants that bring that culture and want to force it upon the Western nations that they immigrate into. It's the same thing. Again, these are people that refuse to integrate themselves into society, that refuse to assimilate themselves into the country that they're immigrating into. Which is not to say that they can no longer be of Muslim faith. It's that they are refusing to, they are refusing to be a part of the culture that they're moving into. That they instead want to supplant the existing culture with their own and turn the new country that they moved into the shithole that they came from. And that involves basically killing every non-Muslim. That is their culture. That is their religion. It is what it is. This is going to piss off a lot of people, but I'm sorry. Facts are facts. These people want to kill white people. Yeah, exactly, Rusty. The people that are Muslim that immigrate to Western culture and they still maintain their Muslim faith, but they integrate themselves into the culture. Yeah, the diehard Muslims want to kill them too. Like, I'm sorry, it's and like probably like 70 to 90% of the people that came in through that operation. I'm blanking on the name because I'm rolling right now. 70 to 90% of those Afghans that were brought over brought that radical Muslim mindset with them. Because I don't know if you guys are aware of this. This scumbag, this like piece of excrement that shot these two National Guardsmen is not the only one in recent days who is another import from Operation Allies Welcome. There is another Afghani that was a part of Operation Allies Welcome that literally made bomb threats. There is an Afghani national that was part of it. That was part of this Operation Allies Welcome. That literally posted a bomb threat and said, "I'm going to blow up." I don't even remember what. Yeah, he posted on TikTok. He's been arrested for terroristic threats. And I hope to God that at the bare minimum, he should be deported. At the bare minimum. Like, it's time to stop pretending like it's not a problem. Flat out. We need to stop pretending this is an issue. We need to stop pretending that there are not billions of people flooding into Western nations that literally want to destroy the existing population. They want to destroy the native population and take it over. It is becoming an invasion status. It is. UK, US, Canada, Germany, France. They're coming in from the Middle East. They're coming in from India. They're coming in from Somalia. And their only goal is to take over. They've said it. They've flat out said it. Our goal is to take over and wipe out the existing population. They've said it. And my opinion, anyone that says that, immediately on a plane and gone. We're hearing it. I've been seeing videos of like Somalians. They're saying like, we want the Somali culture to take over. We want to get rid of the white people, get rid of the Christians. It should be only Somalians. I've seen Muslims say, Muslim people saying, you cannot, it is not allowed for you to celebrate Christmas in, where people are celebrating Christmas. Every single one of those people gets snatched up, put on a plane, and back to their own country. And blacklisted from ever coming back again. Every fucking one of them. It's like I've tried to stay even keeled on this one. I've tried to stay even keel and logical on this issue. The time is over with. It's that time unfortunately is done. It's time to recognize the invasion that is occurring in all of these Western nations. It's time to take the blinders off. And it's time to just start taking action. Will pyrotechnic? Who's to say? UK may be too late. I don't know. I don't know if it's too late for a place like the UK. It's time to start recognizing it.
On a secure federal installation, we should probably contain them. They said, legally, we can't do that. And I said, well, legally, they're not citizens. And they're like, yeah, we had Customs and Border Patrol there, every branch of service, including the Space Force. Space Force got us our satellite internet and stuff like that. And I was not so politely asked to leave that meeting when I said we should have CBP sitting outside the gate. And if they want to walk off the installation and not tell us who the fuck they are, they need to be put back on a plane and sent back overseas, because all we're doing is importing people we don't know.
Yes, you're importing potential terrorists. Call it like it is. They were importing potential terrorists that will kill Americans simply for being the wrong religion and the wrong skin color. You want, like all of you SJAs out there, you want fucking racism? It's right there staring you in the fucking face. All of these Muslims, Somalians, even Indians, they're all racist against white people. So while you're too busy getting on your knees to suck their cocks in the name of diversity, they're going to stab you in the back and rape your women and children. You want racists? There's your racist. How about you take your head out of your ass and recognize it for fucking once?
Meanwhile, I was watching my country at Fort Pickett alone. There were 7 of these installations, like Fort Bliss, Fort Pickett, Quantico, Virginia, Fort Lee, Virginia. There was a couple other ones. Each of those bases individually were hemorrhaging over $1 million a week to take care of these people who didn't give a fuck about assimilating into the American lifestyle.
Not at all.
And now we have one that worked with U.S. forces that shot 2 of them in D.C., and another one in Texas was just arrested for making a TikTok about making a bomb in Fort Worth.
There it is.
The American logistics infrastructure of the U.S. military was stretched to a level that no other country can comprehend. We moved 150,000 people 3,000 miles in a week and a half. I was watching these individuals get full health care, full dental, all their shots,
oh my God,
room and board, as much food as they wanted to eat, and they were still fashioning shanks and stealing from one another. On several occasions, they would take a shit on the ground right next to the porta-johns that were outside that eventually were upgraded to trailers that had running water. They would still do this. Bear in mind, we had contractors cleaning those bathrooms 3 times a day. And they would still shit on the ground. And everyone said, well, it's just because they don't know. Bullshit. There was a...
No, I'm sorry. I've heard that way too fucking much. Way too fucking much. That, oh, they just don't know. That's the same insane, retarded excuse of the people that rape women And the judges go, oh, their brains aren't developed enough, or, oh, they don't know it's not acceptable to rape women in their culture. It's the same fucking excuse, and it doesn't work. Any judge that makes a judgment that includes the words, in the case of a woman being raped by an immigrant from the Middle East or Somalia or whatever, and if the words, their brain isn't developed enough, or their culture makes, they didn't know because of their culture, not only should the person in question that committed the offense, goodbye, pick what that means, the judge should be gone, and the judge should be in prison. Any judge that makes that excuse, that, oh, it's because of their culture that they didn't know to rape someone, that judge should be in prison. Disbarred and thrown in prison. That is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Tent outside that I had put a sign on the side of in paper that was translated into Arabic with Google Translate that said mosque. They managed not to shit in there. It wasn't because they were stupid, it's because they didn't fucking care.
Nope, they don't.
Are there good people who immigrated here during Operation Allies Welcome, Ally Refuge, Afghan Welcome, whatever? It changed every week while I was part of the mission. Yes, absolutely. I would never say that there are not good people who came here and assimilated and began living the American way of life. But we have no idea who the staggering majority of them are. I very, very rarely blame any president for anything, and I try and stay as apolitical as I possibly can. But this situation is very near and dear to my heart. And the last administration, when we had 4 years, a weekend at fucking Bernie's, he brought in 150,000 potential threats to American lives.
Jesus.
So to him and his wonderful General Milley, fuck both of you for what you made us turn a blind eye to and act like it was okay.
Ugh.
I still want to laugh at the weekend at Bernie's comment. God, it was good. America.
Shut
As if
up.
today couldn't get any worse. What in the fuck do you want, West Taiwan? Before you interject, I just want to go ahead and point out, in recent history, you've had one bridge collapse that you was brand new.
And a building.
And then you also had a giant multiple building fire, probably because OSHA and fire codes are non-existent in fucking West Taiwan. So go ahead.
Why the fuck are you being so mean today?
Oh, nothing. Just something I've wanted.
Fuck you, West Taiwan. Just no. I'm already too fucking fired up. I can't say it. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm too fucking fired up. I'm gonna say something that I don't want to.
Warn people about for 4 years. That's finally come to fruition.
Well, to be fair, Uncle Sam, I've been telling people about the minorities for like 60 years. Oh, well, yeah, it's worth a shot.
Now on to something a little bit lighter. Is Campbell's chicken noodle soup, or Campbell's soup in general, made with 3D printed meat?
I heard about this.
Technically, all meat is 3D printed because you grow. Like animals grow. You know what I mean. That it was made by a machine. And then he just proceeded to say that you guys made shit for poor people. I don't know. Jury's still out on that. Campbell's seems to claim that it's 100% real, and they can test it if they want to.
And Campbell's stock went in the fucking toilet after this happened. After the CEO talked about the 3D printed meat, Campbell's stock went in the fucking dumpster after that, after he said that publicly. Yeah. And it's gonna stay down the floor. I do think it's gonna recover because, Alistair, I think it might have cratered even worse than Cracker Barrel. I didn't track it. I didn't track the movements. I think it might have cratered even more than Cracker Barrel. However, I am going to say this. It's going to recover. The stock level is going to recover. Why? Because people's attention spans right now are about 5 seconds. People have the attention span of a fucking goldfish these days. So yeah, it cratered for maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days, I'm not sure, and it's probably already starting to go back up because that's how outrage works now. Outrage lasts for like a day or two, and then people move on because there's so much shit going on in the world that when something like this happens, there's literally 2 to 3 days of outrage, and then they move on to the next thing. Because they don't see immediate action taken because of it. Unless something happens immediately, nobody fucking cares after like a couple days. The only thing that is stuck, here's the funny part. What is the funny part? The only like outrage, so to speak, that is stuck in this sort of like micro kind of way, not macro. We're not talking about like what we were just raging about before with like immigration, stuff like that. That's macro. That's sticking around forever and a day. The only micro thing that's been sticking around, yeah, is Hassan shocking his dog. That is the one micro rage that is not going fucking anywhere, and I love it. I fucking love it.
And the whole poor thing that was really in bad taste, dude is like super fired.
Rule number 1 of capitalism. Don't tell the poors that they're poor.
Yeah.
I thought
or
rule
let him
number
look
1 of
behind the curtain.
capitalism was anything we have to do to make sure we beat communism.
No. I think that's one of the fat electrician's rules. That, and it's only a war crime the first time, and there's
Yep.
no metrics on the moon. Kind of interchangeable. They're all kind of number 1 depending on at what point you talk to them and how many White Claws he's had.
True.
Also, Beans on
True
Toast,
story.
I didn't mean to talk to you. You arrested
Uh-oh.
some guy because he posted a picture of himself holding a shotgun.
I was talking
A
about
picture
this.
he took in Florida,
Yep.
where
Yep.
that's legal.
Anybody else feeling like there should be a crusade?
Yes.
Feeling like it.
Since birth.
It was all a misunderstanding.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a misunderstanding. This was an authoritarian government trying to basically put their boot on their own citizenry's neck. And when there was enough outcry, they went, oh, we kind of fucked up. Maybe we shouldn't back off on this. Yeah, they were trying to send a message. 100%. Because don't forget, this is the same government that claimed that they were going to try and fly to the U.S. to arrest American citizens because American citizens badmouthed them on social media. This was 100% intentional. They were going to throw that man in prison, but then there was just enough public outcry that they said, oh, maybe we shouldn't actually do that. This is a bad idea. And they backed off. And then they claimed, oh, it was a misunderstanding.
And he posted it on social media, which made it public. And of course, if you're making something public that is illegal in my country, then, of course, we're going to investigate it within the full extent of the law.
And by the way, the law that they cited was it might make other people feel uncomfortable to see him shooting a firearm at a range in Florida. That was why they arrested him. Because it might make someone feel uncomfortable. Literally, that was the reason for the arrest. Yeah, I'm sorry, UK strays, I love you. I love you with all my heart. Your country's fucked. I hate saying it. I love you guys so much, but your country is just fucked right now.
Yeah, no, I get that. But here's the thing. You guys arrested him, which in the U.S. you would have to get an arrest warrant for, signed by a judge. And the judge would have to agree with why you're arresting the individual, okay? Then you confiscate.
They've removed the right to it. Yeah, I can't remember if you mentioned that or if I read about that. Yeah, you no longer get trial by jury in the UK unless it's an extreme, unless there's like a high-profile extreme criminal case. In the UK, you no longer have the right to a jury trial by your peers. Gone. You're at the mercy. You're at the mercy of the judges who are under the thumb of the authoritarian government. You are at the mercy of the party in the UK now. 100%. Because every fucking judge is gonna try and put every fucking white man and white woman in prison. For the dumbest shit. But if it's a brown person, oh no, they don't know any better. Let them go. They're fine. Let's go. Let's go spend another million on them to feed them and let them take over our country. No, Rudy, it's becoming worse than Slavic special ed because they're letting the Middle East take over. The UK is turning into Middle East 2.0. On that, at this stage, I'm going to say none. And I know I'm being hyperbolic on that one. I am. I fully admit that. It feels like right now, actual white UK citizens no longer have rights. If you're Muslim or you're Indian, you have all the rights in the world. You are a protected class in the UK. If you are brown. If you're brown or black and Muslim, you are a protected class. If you are white, you have no rights anymore in the UK. You are a people without class at all in the UK. You are a subclass in the UK if you're white, unfortunately. And it angers me that that's the case. It truly does. My heart breaks for people in the UK like this. It absolutely does. And Rusty, yeah, you're right. When it finally happens, I fear for people like you, Heckle, in the UK when that happens, because a revolution is going to happen. It is, and I am so scared for you. Because it's going to be messy. It's going to be very messy.
And the judge would have to agree with why you're arresting the individual, okay? Then you confiscated all of his personal electronic devices, including his computer, which he used for work. So he wasn't able to work during that time, which again, you would need a warrant for to seize, okay, in the United States. And then you just kind of quietly gave it all back to him and dropped the charges when you realized you were stupid.
Yeah.
That's a very watered down look at it, but
I think that's a very direct look.
More or less. Eventually, we got to the point where we realized it was all wrong.
Look, there are those out there in the world that are saying you're using social media as your own personal police force where you can just arrest people for whatever, and that's really fucking concerning.
Yep.
I'm swear, you Brits never learn from history.
Germany, you're not much better.
People cannot report you when you use your secret police if they never show back up.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Germany?
I fucked that up 80 years ago. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry still. It's very bad. I'll not do it again. Okay?
Yeah. Germany, you're not much better than UK right now. Okay? Like, all of the EU except Poland is in about the same boat. Honestly, shit's gonna come to a head really quick, really soon.